All right, welcome to day 2 of my video. My camera is attempting to flip my video repeatedly, so I have it going the right direction now, so I'm gonna try to put it in its tripod now that it's already started, and hopefully we'll be okay. Sometimes my camera just does that. It decides it should flip it, but okay, looks like it's working correctly. So we have our beautiful road, we have our beautiful sidewalk. We wanna draw trees. I want you to pick one side of your road to draw trees on, whether it's the right side or left side, doesn't matter. But one of those sides we're gonna leave for buildings. So draw straw on one side of your road. There's a couple really important rules to keep in mind. Your trees, the trunk of your trees, the bottom where the roots are, have to be below this line because the ground stops here, right? So a tree can have its roots here, or it'll be way down here, right? They'll go higher on the page until here, but nothing will start up here because this is the sky. Your tree can go and should go past this line all the way up to this guideline here. This is where our trees stop. It's hard to convince yourself to draw a tree that goes that big at first, but that's what we want to do. So my paper is a little bit different size than yours, and that's going to kind of impact me today. And it will make it a little bit trickier for me to draw these trees today. But I want to, when I do, go all the way from here, all the way up here, and then my trees will get smaller and smaller, but they're still going to try to go up to that guideline pretty much. Okay, so let's look at some ways to draw trees real quick. Maybe we've already practiced this. Hopefully we have. The sketchbook does not want to work with me. Okay, there we go. So here's a simple way to draw a tree. So on your paper somewhere, you're going to start with a nice wide spot where the roots are going into the ground. We're going to have a wide trunk, but it's pretty straight and parallel here. Pretty much the same width here as here. Once we get to up a little bit higher, we're going to go out on both sides. We're going to curve it out. Now, trees in nature all look different. Yours does not have to look exactly like mine. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a V, like the letter V, right in the middle here. Okay? And then we're going to make 2 more V's in here and over here. And then we're just going to make a little stylized top. Some bushes. I can make it like 2 like this, or I could make it just 1 like that. So there's one tree. To make a more complicated version of that tree, I could again start with a trunk that's pretty much the same width, but as it gets up higher, I begin drawing lots of V's. And all of these branches lead into more V's. So it's just a little bit more complicated, but again, I might end up with trunks, branches like this. There you go. Very similar, slightly more complicated. Here's a very, very simple tree. If you're having trouble with those, maybe we want to draw like a simple pine tree. Those are going to have shorter trunks. Here's a couple of them, short trunks. And then I can either do like my pine tree is like a Christmas tree. So it comes to a point at the top and it's basically a triangle shape. So I'm just going to make like a wiggly line. There you go. Or I can make that rounded sort of line. There you go. So they can be simpler like this. They can even be very stylized like that. But whatever tree I'm going to use, the important part is that I'm doing it in 1-point perspective. Almost dropped my whole picture. So I'm going to use most guidelines to know how big of a tree to draw. And it's difficult when you draw this first one because you have all these lines and all these complicated things that are distracting you. But again, I want to keep it nice and parallel here in the trunk. Go up, I'll make that V in the middle and 2 more V's on the side. And I'm going to make some branches. And I want those branches to come all the way up to that guideline. There's my tree. It goes all the way from way down there, all the way up there. I'm going to put a couple more trees in. You should have at least 3 trees. And each one should be trying to get up to that guideline. Now this tree is closest to me, so it's in front of this tree. And again, I can draw, I might put 2 more in. And I'm hitting that guideline down here. They should also, I suppose, and I should have probably said this, get skinnier. They're going to get smaller in every way as they get further away. This line where the ground and the sky meet, I still need it because it's all ground in here, but I don't need it in the trees. So I can erase it out from inside the tree. And if I hate how like straight it is, I can make it kind of rounded so it looks more like ground if I want to. There, I have 1 point perspective trees. This is my guideline. Completely just to tell me how tall those trees should be. I can completely erase that out. I no longer need that line at all. It just helped me make it look more like 1 point perspective. So now I can go back in and fix it. All of my trees go towards the vanishing point, get smaller, go up on the page. They look great. On this side of the page, we're going to make some buildings. So just hold tight for that.